Thank you for staying with us. Now, Mukhtar, I'll come back to you to continue from where we stopped before that quick break. You know, earlier on you were talking about the anti-grazing bill, and you were talking about why you think it shouldn't go in place. But just continue from where you stopped earlier on.
Like I
Mukhtar.
said, the cow business, the cattle business is a business like any other. Those who want to engage in it should engage in it, of course, with people who are voluntarily engaged in it with them. You cannot grow your farm on someone else's yard, just like you can't herd your cattle in someone else's on someone. You cannot have a situation where because I have cows, I basically have free passage anywhere I want in Nigeria with my cows. So again, open grazing has to grazing when you have open grazing and roaches on the rights of other people. Unfortunately, the herdsmen themselves, their prerogative to be wherever they want to be, whenever they want to be. And when you dare resist them, you get in trouble with them. They either intimidate you, coerce you, or if you dare resist, they actually end up murdering you. That is unacceptable. So while the murders and the coercions and everything else are the manifestation of the bigger problem itself, is the fact that there's open grazing. So open grazing has to stop. Anybody who wants to have cattle needs to have a ranch. If he or she cannot have another business, there are 1,000,001 businesses in Nigeria can engage in. Not every one of them involves rearing cattle.
All right, very well. So, Nnamdi, let me come back to you this time around. You know, let's look at the visit or the presidential directive for the IGP to move, you know, to Benue State, you know, so as to see or to find a way to end these clashes. Do you think that is a step in the right direction? Do you think that will bring an end to this crisis?
Well, from the perspective of human security, what they need to do now is to provide shelter for the displaced persons and also provide food. But the final solution to the issue of a pastoral conflict has to do with is for the herdsmen and allowing farmers access to their farmlands. You know, the issue is about the struggle for and the ancestral lands of some people versus the grazing rights of the people. So you have a conflict. If you haven't studied the situation, I don't think the Nigerian police can handle the threat that the Fulani herdsmen represents.
You know, I'm very sure, you know, the police authorities will not agree with you that they lack the capacity, you know, to stop this internal crisis. But, you know, just wrapping up, Mukhtar, let me come back to you again. You know, Amnesty International released this statement talking about those who have been killed now, those who have been sacrificed in this clashes. You know, so will they ever get justice?
Well,
justice? Is that the question?
It comes back. Okay.
Yeah, Mukhtar, that was to you, Mukhtar. Nnamdi, I'll come back to you in a bit, but Mukhtar, that was to you. Will they ever get justice?
Will the families of those who were killed get justice?
Yes, please.
I don't think that's ever going to happen. Not the way Nigeria is currently configured. Nigeria is a country where brute force, unfortunately, seems to be the order of the day, and most of the time there is virtually no repercussion for those who exist, especially the forces are used against the downtrodden. So I don't think they'll ever get justice. However, I think there is still hope. I mean, again, if we end open grazing, if we make ranching the de facto way to rear cattle, hopefully future clashes, future bloodshed will be averted. That's really the only way. And also, it's very important that we understand the majority of the cattle is owned by very well-to-do individuals. The herdsmen we see roaming up and down the country are not the owners of the cattle. The owners of the cattle are people who live in nice homes, drive on other businesses. The government needs to figure out who those people are, and when their cattle encroach on other people's property, they need to be taken to court to be tried, and when found guilty, they need to be made to pay the penalty. I think that will very quickly bring an end to the menace of
herdsmen clashes. And do you also agree, just in wrapping up now, do you also agree that ranching is the solution to this crisis?
Ranching is the solution to crisis because you confine the herdsmen to a particular location where they can have access to resources to also take care of their herds. And also the issue of providing security for herdsmen is also critical. You have a situation where their cattle are rustled or the cattle are stolen by cattle rustlers. So you need to also factor in the security for the herdsmen and the colonies. You know, because we were able to confine them to a particular location and also being able to provide all the necessary logistics and resources that they need. There will not be further incursion into farmland, and there will not be a conflict as a result of disagreements over land resources.
All right, Nnamdi, thank you for joining us. You joined us from Abuja, Nigeria's Federal Capital Territory, as well as Mukhtar Danya, who joins us from New York in the United States. Thanks to all of you for joining us on the program. But stay tuned, because coming up next is the most viewed videos on our YouTube channel in the past week. Please stay with us.
The video of officers of the Nigerian police arresting the chief herbalist of a cult group in the Ikorodu area of Lagos, Nigeria, begins this week in 5th place. Fourth place is taken by the call made by Governor of Ekiti State, Ayodele Fayose, on President Buhari to declare herdsmen terrorists.
How did cattle wearers get to hold sophisticated weapons? Is this what they want to use about $1 billion for? Declare now, Mr. President. Declare now, Mr. President. Declare now, Mr. President. Herdsmen as terrorist group.
The video of the leader of the Islamic movement in Nigeria, Sheikh Ibrahim El-Zakzaki, confirming his health status, takes the 3rd spot.
They have allowed me to see my own doctors. So it were my own doctors who examined me. But I'm getting better. Okay, thanks to all your prayers.
It's good to hear.
Thank you.
Good to see you, sir.
Thank you.
While second is taken by the tears and sorrow that followed the mass burial of victims of herdsmen attack organized by the Benue State government. And the first place is taken by the video of Channel's TV duo, Mohammed and Maokwe. The two lovebirds tied a knot and were joined by friends and family to celebrate the occasion.
Well, there you go. Those were the most viewed videos on our YouTube channel in the past week. However, the federal government has, in trying to bring an end to the herdsmen-farmer clashes, ordered the IGP to relocate to Benue, assured citizens of their renewed commitment to end the crisis, as well as promised to bring to book perpetrators of the killings and destruction of property. The question is, how soon will this be done? And that's where we wrap it up on the program today. Thank you for watching. I'm Victor Matthias. Bye for now, but let's continue the conversation via the social media addresses showing on your screen.